first of all, congratulations because of the Oscar win for Natu Natu. How significant is this Oscar award for you and your family, sir?
No doubt, not only for me, for any family, it's a significant. It is significant in two ways. The Oscar is given to the song. Technically speaking, the person who has written the song, who composed it, who sang it, belongs to them. But it so happened, there's a story in the song. There's an emotion. So, as a writer, not only me, the dialogue writer and the screenplay writer, everybody can feel, yes, even though it's not given to us, we are also eligible. A part of it we are eligible. That way we can feel happy.
Absolutely.
Of course, any family, like any family member, I also feel happy. But the most important thing is a happy occasion for the Indian film industry per se, because it has opened the portals of Hollywood field to our Indian film industry. There is a recognition. Yes, India can produce quality movies. Now it is up to our Indian film field to utilize it properly, to use this occasion to make the doors wide open, so that our Indian content can be exploited abroad also. Such a huge market. We have to.
Sir, I'll get to that part. So, I didn't hear about any success party or anything from your family. You won the Oscars. It was a quiet moment. How does your family actually celebrate such a big occasion?
I mean, should a success party should be given? Is it mandatory? There's nothing like that.
How do you celebrate the achievement, sir?
It's itself is an achievement. Getting a award itself is an achievement. What else you want?
One of the biggest questions that everybody asks, whether it would be you or whether it would be your family members, despite the success of the last 20 years, your family always seems to be grounded. But how do you keep that? How do you...
Be aware. Be aware that feet on the ground. We are then mortal human beings. We are not superhuman beings. We are floating in the air. There's a false impression that gives when you get a success, you feel you are floating in the ground, above the ground. You are something above everybody else. If you get the feeling, you are bound to fall. Be aware that your feet are firmly on the ground.
Another thing that I want to ask you is there have been a lot of achievements, awards that you and your family has achieved. Started with the state, then it went to the national level, now it's on the international level. What next? Now that you won the family's won the Oscars, what next? What is the next milestone that you would like to achieve? One Oscars.
See, never aim for any milestones. Do your job, good. It's up to the God to give us the result. Karmanyevadhikaras. Do your job properly. The result is not on our hands. They can't predict anything.
Okay, so you had not predicted the Oscars or anything?
No, nobody can do it. Nobody. Can anybody? We aspire for them. We hope for them. There's only a bonus.
We'll talk about your the next project that you're working with Mr. Mahesh Babu, which is again being directed by Mr. Rajamouli. We hear it's a jungle adventure. Could you tell us a little bit more about what the film could be, sir?
No. Entertainer.
Okay.
That's all.
But it says it's a jungle adventure. It's going to be shot around the world, and there's going to be 6 months of workshop.
Yeah. In several countries.
Okay. One question that's always running in my mind is, first it started with the state, the state of United Andhra. It was Mr. Rajamouli and your stories became huge, big blockbusters in Andhra. And then with Bahubali, it entered the pan-India level. It became big across the country. And with RRR, it went all across the world right now. So what plans or how big is the plan for the next movie, sir?
Actually, when take the movie around the world, it will be expensive. You can't make it for peanuts.
Correct. But is the plan to take it around the world?
Nothing like that. The story demands like that. Okay. It has to happen in several countries.
So you've seen Mr. Rajamouli's success. You're a proud father, and he's proud of you as his father. So how much of your contribution has been there to his success? Or what would you say? How would you look at it?
My stories.
Okay.
Whatever a good story can contribute to a movie, I contributed it. Okay. Nothing more, nothing less.
But when you're writing stories, do you actually keep in mind the actors, or you just write the script and then he goes ahead and chooses the actors?
It is both ways. Sometimes we write a script, we'll adapt to the heroes. But most of the times, we think of a hero, keeping his image in mind and what he did before. We write the story.
Okay, so and with the next Mahesh Babu film, was it his in mind or the story?
Yes, no. Keeping Mahesh Babu in mind only, we are writing.
Sir, one question that a lot of people would like to ask you is, how does the father and son actually work together? You know, we've read that you guys actually sit and write stories.
Like a director and a writer.
Okay.
The father-son equation doesn't come there.
Okay.
Professional.
Okay.
He's a director, I'm a writer.
So, does he tell you some corrections or some requirements when he needs?
Yes, of course. They won't hesitate.
And when he directs, do you also give him suggestions saying,
No.
this is how you...
No. Unless asked for. From time to time, he shows the rushes,
Okay.
asks me opinion, takes my opinion. If he likes it, he will implement it.
Any time that you've told Mr. Rajamouli that this is something that I don't like, change it, and he's gone ahead and, he's adapted that?
Small things, couple of things.
So, talking about I was just reading one of your interviews recently. In that interview, you mentioned that sometimes you steal scripts.
Yeah.
So, surprised.
Right, sometimes, most of the times.
What do you mean by that, sir? What do you mean by that?
I mean in a jocular way. One means, see what I mean is get inspired.
Okay.
Get inspired. So in order to pep up the talk, I say steal.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't steal anything from anyone. I get inspired. Now, about 25 years back, Chiranjeevi Pasivadi Pranam. Okay, the story goes like that. A small 2-year-old boy, 3-year-old boy, he's dumb. He saw a murder, and murderer saw that he's a witness. They started chasing him. He ran away from his house. Accidentally comes across with Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi takes a pity on him, realizes that he's dumb, and then his life is a threat. He kills the goons and saves the boy. There's a story. Very big hit. Big hit. Mr. Fazil as a directed the movie. That movie. So, some time back, I thought it's a nice story. Udayenge kya? Shall we steal it? To my assistants. Then one of my assistants said, if that is the case, let the danger from Pakistan.
Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
That's Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
Okay.
And the compliment is, I respect Mr. Fazil very much. I went to Kerala and went to his house to pay my respects. He said, I have seen you Bajrangi Bhaijaan. From where you got the idea? I said, your movie, sir.
Okay.
My movie? That is how. You see now the difference between stealing and inspiration.
Yeah.
The person who created didn't realize the idea came from his movie. That is inspiration.
So you've been your imagination runs wild. Of course, you just mentioned that, you try and take inspiration from other films and all that, but sometimes your imagination runs wild. How do you get that thought process going, sir? Because one after the other, because every film of yours is bigger than the previous one. So where do you get that imagination? How do you keep it going?
There should be a motivating factor for each and everything.
Yes.
And the motivation is money.
Okay.
The bigger the movie, the better it will be remunerations.
Okay. Right. Money is definitely a factor, but there must be...
That's the only factor.
So talking about, if I can move on about your next project, which is you're working on a project on RSS.
Yes.
So why RSS, sir? Why RSS?
Now somebody asked me to write a movie on RSS. So, Bangalore people, Lahari people,
Correct.
they asked me to write a movie. Till then, I didn't know anything about RSS.
Okay.
Then they took me to Nagpur. I met Mahesh Babu. Then I came to know what RSS is. What a great patriotic people they are. But for them, the country would have gone. Well, you can't imagine what would be the position of our country. Initially, I took it up as an assignment. But once I came to know about them, I did it with patriotism and fervor.
So what, according to you, has been one of the biggest contribution of RSS to the country, sir, according to you?
Inculcating the national spirit. You know the philosophy of RSS? The philosophy of RSS is, before your language, before your area, before your culture, before your religion, before your family, before your life, the country comes first. What a great thought. And that thought unites the entire people. You see, if you identify as an Indian, what is it that binds all of it together?
Yeah.
If you say, I'm a Kannadiga, only Kannada people come here.
Correct.
If you're South people come here. If you say Brahmin, Brahmin people come here. If you're Jat, Jat people come there. When you say we are Indian, the entire 140 crore people are one. That's the philosophy of RSS.
Now that you've involved in it, would Mr. Rajamouli be directing the film or would somebody else direct that film?
I have not yet come. First of all, I'm finishing the Mahesh Babu film. Then I will give a thought to it. Who is going to direct, who is going to produce. But it's bound to happen.
But will it happen before the next elections?
Yes.
Before the next Lok Sabha elections?
Yes.
So the reason I asked you this question is because no matter how authentic the story is, it is bound to create controversies. Because because it's a film on the RSS, it's bound to create controversies. How do you look at that, sir?
How can I help? Somebody wants to create a controversy. As long as you're sticking to the truth, no controversy can affect it. You have to stick to the truth. You can't play with the truth. I'll be sticking to the truth.
Do you actually follow films from other languages? Now, for example, it could be Hindi, it could be Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam. How closely do you follow these language
See,
films?
you don't have time to watch all the movies. But when they make a way, certainly I will do. I'll see them.
So do you also have time, or do you also get to see OTT? I mean, web series on OTTs.
Some I see.
Okay, which was the last one? Your best that you thought was very good when it comes to writing?
From Mirzapur,
Okay,
She, and Fauda.
So if not immediately, I know you are very busy right now. If not immediately, but in the near future or sometime in the future, can we actually have you write a story for an OTT? Would you ever do that?
Maybe.
So would you ever want to try your hand at direction?
Yes, Bhagavad Dhwaj I'm going to direct.
Sorry, which one?
His name is Bhagavad Dhwaj.
Bhagavad Raj. Okay.
I'll be directing it.
Now that you have a big director at home, I'm sure you want to do better than him. Being your father.
Nothing like that. I will try to do justice for the subject.
How has your stint been in the Parliament?
I'm a new entrant. Give me some time.
Okay. What more can we expect from you in the coming days?
Regarding what?
Whether it's films or whether it's apart from the two projects that we know that you're working on, Mahesh Babu and the RSS project.
See, I want to finish this Bhagavad Dhwaj. That's in my blood. Afterwards, I want to devote more time to the Parliament. Because whatever reason, I don't know, Modi ji elected me as an MP. But since I am MP, I want to do justice for the MP position.
So because you brought about Mr. Modi in the conversation, so your thoughts about how's been the last 9 years of Modi's governance, sir? Your thoughts?
Great.
Yeah?
Great.
Okay.
Incidentally, I met Mr. Modi ji. I wanted to say hello to him, to thank him. I expected to be 1 or 2 minutes, just a handshake and all these things. But extended to 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And I told him, sir, in my life I had 4 ambitions. 4 things I wanted to see. And I felt lucky if I can see even 1. But you made 3 of them in reality. Yes, what are they? He said. Kashi Dham. Because I frequently go to Kashi. Every time I see Kashi, even though it's such a holy place, so much of dirt, scarlet and all these things. Second, Ayodhya Ram Mandir. Third, Article 370 removal. And what's the 4th? Our flag flying in POK. I'm sure in his tenure, we can see that also. Because
you spoke about Kashmir, in one of your other interviews, I have we've heard that you had certain thoughts about Mr. Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as to who could have been the first Prime Minister, who could have done well. What brings you to that thoughts? Of course, Mr. Nehru was definitely one of the best Prime Ministers that we had. But what makes you think that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel?
I have my reservations to say that he is the best Prime Minister. I have my reservations against it.
Okay.
He made a mess of Kashmir.
Okay.
He was naive. When he made Panjshir with China, the China had been doing aggression. He was naive. In the last phases of his life, he felt he knew the truth. And he was hating RSS like anything. He's the person who got it banned twice. He's the person who got Guruji jailed. But in the last days, he realized the greatness of RSS. And you know how he demonstrated by his change of attitude. He asked RSS to participate in the Republic Day Parade 1963.
Okay.
The Prime Minister asking RSS to participate in the Republic Day Parade. That's how he wanted to demonstrate to the country how much he respects. He realized the truth. What a fool he was all the time.
How do you look at the situation in Kashmir today, sir? Do you think, things after Section 370 has been revoked, do you think the situation has gotten better? Because you're into films and because you know a little bit about Kashmir, the situation there, the government of India is trying to take a lot of initiatives to try and push Kashmir as the next shooting destination. So how do you think the film industry can actually help? Because everybody are scared. Because
Certainly the government should take steps. You see, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge was picturized in Switzerland.
Correct.
Immediately, the tourist influx from India has increased by 200 or 300%. So government should encourage people to make movies in Kashmir, around Kashmir, so that people will see again the beauty of Kashmir. It will increase the tourist influx into Kashmir.
Correct.
It's up to the government.
When it comes to pan-India films, I won't be wrong when I said it was you and Mr. Rajamouli who started it, with Bahubali and all of that. Today, a lot of filmmakers, whether it has been in the Kannada film industry, the Tamil or the Malayalam, everybody are trying to invest huge amounts of money and make a big film and make it into a pan-India film. So how do you look at this development, sir?
I'm very happy.
Okay.
The boundaries are erasing. It's one big Indian movie industry. I'm very happy about it.
But not all films make it to that level,
That's a different question. See, when there's a running race, one person wins. You can't expect all the people to win the race, is it not? So similarly, some people will make very good money. Some people may not be able to make that good money. So that doesn't necessarily mean we should not compete. We should compete.
So, but how do you look at this, sir? One question is, on one hand, all the films that you and Mr. Rajamouli make are big budget films in recent years. So was the case with KGF. It was a big budget film. But then came something called Kantara, which was a very small budget film comparatively. And that again went big. So how do you look at it? Do you think investments or do you think big budget?
It's not the question. It's the question of content.
Okay.
Content is the most important thing.
And did you get time to watch Kantara?
Of course, I loved it.
So apart from Mr. Rajamouli, who do you think are some of the best directors in the country, sir?
In Hindi, Rajkumar Hirani ji.
Okay.
And Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji. Of course, Sintamid Maniratnam, Shankar. And Prashant Neel. And Shetty, Kantara director.
Rishabh Shetty.
Rishabh Shetty. In Telugu, our Trivikram Srinivas, Koratal Shiva, Sukumar.
So, among the older generation of actors, is there anyone that you would like to write a story for, like Mr. Rajnikant or Kamal Haasan? That generation of actors, is there anyone that you always want to write a story?
Of course, Rajnikant.
Okay, you always want to write.
And Telugu Chiranjeevi.
Okay.
And Hindi Amitabh.
Would that happen anytime soon?
I don't know.
Okay, but if you had to write it for the younger generation, sir, the new generation?
Nothing in particular.
All right, sir, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We wish you the best of success.
Thanks.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.